this plain-looking gourd vine before me. Its fate is to be taken and mixed with mud. But when I was reborn in the primordial world, as one of the 10 ancient spirit roots, the innate gourd vine, I refused to let the 7 gourds I touched get completely taken by others. Even the soil I rooted in ended up belonging to someone else. Just as I was feeling frustrated, a mechanical voice suddenly rang out beside me, congratulating me. Divine choice system activated. Host, please make your first choice. Option 1. Keep accumulating your essence, and sequentially touch 7 gourds. When the gourds ripen, each will become a top-tier innate treasure. Option 2. Transform early, and appear at the Dragonhan era. You'll earn a reward. A single innate gourd formed from the fusion of all 7. This gourd is a supreme innate treasure, holding the combined powers of the 7 original gourds. I didn't hesitate. I went straight for option 2. If I waited until all 7 gourds matured, I'd probably be too late. By then, even the Red Army becoming a saint wouldn't save me. So I chose to take what I could now. Having just one supreme treasure is enough. So I focused my mind. Countless inherited memories flooded in. After one Yuanhui, ancient epic, I formed my own primordial spirit, and what I comprehended as my core path was the Tao of creation. Then I kept cultivating for countless more Yuanhui. One day, rivers of spiritual energy came rushing over. Brilliant light exploded everywhere. I finally transformed successfully. Not only that, the 7 immature gourds on my vine all dropped off as I transformed. Each gourd had a different color, and instantly they all matured, becoming 7 top-tier treasures with unique auras, innate spirit treasures. Yet they felt like they came from one source. Mysteriously drawn together, they spun around each other, constantly spinning, emitting dazzling rays. Suddenly they crashed together. With a thunderous bang, the 7 gourds merged into one, emitting an aura even more powerful than all 7 combined. It was a supreme innate gourd. I reached out. The gourd landed in my palm. This gourd contains the combined powers of all 7.
It's called the Chaos Gourd.
A top-tier innate treasure. Looking at the Chaos Gourd, feeling its power, I was honestly thrilled. I sent a spell into it and activated the gourd. Suddenly, from inside the Chaos Gourd, red glowing clouds started pouring out. Looking closely, it was actually countless sand particles grinding and crashing, sparking terrifying lightning and fire.
This
Was the original power of the 99 Scatter Soul Gourd treasure. Since the Chaos Gourd is a supreme treasure, this power is even more terrifying than before. After getting familiar with the Chaos Gourd's functions, I was satisfied and stored it in my spirit sea, using my primordial spirit to nurture my transformed self. I now had the cultivation of a mid-stage golden immortal. After collecting 9 heavens earth from my roots, I planned to leave the valley. Stepping out of the grand array covering the valley, I was met by endless Pangu pressure. This pressure had been here since the gods opened the world, turning Buzhou Mountain into a place few living things could go. There should still be many opportunities here in Buzhou Mountain. It's right by my doorstep after all. Not searching thoroughly would be a waste. So I braved the Pangu pressure and started hunting for treasures. Soon inside a great formation, I found an ancient banana tree, with a pair of leaves, one yin and one yang, not one of the 10 ancient roots, but still extraordinary. According to ancient records, the yin leaf ended up with ancestor Ming, the yang leaf went to Laozi. The tree died after its leaves were picked. I immediately felt a connection, so I left the leaves alone. Instead, I dug up the whole banana tree, with all its soil, and temporarily stored it in the Chaos Gourd, added some 9 heavens earth to help it grow. After handling that, I prepared to leave. But just as I turned to go, from the big hole under the banana tree, gorgeous multicolored lights flew out. I stared at the scene, honestly shocked. These should be the famous sea-calming divine pearls, but there were only 12. Legend has it that a set of 24 pearls has enormous power, equal to a top innate spirit treasure, and 36 might match a supreme innate treasure. If I can find the other 24 someday, I could test it out. My eyes flashed, recalling that the lamp-wielding Taoist used 24 pearls to forge 24 heavens worth of cultivation. His power increased sharply. Maybe I could do the same. So, I took these 12 pearls into my spirit sea and slowly refined them. After getting the yin-yang banana tree and 12 pearls.
It felt like I'd used up my luck.
After that in Bujo Mountain. I couldn't find any rare treasures, just gathered some common celestial herbs, all put away in the Chaos Gourd. After collecting all I could, I started thinking about my next destination. Now, the primordial world and the four seas are ruled by the dragon, phoenix, and killing clans. But apart from that, there's endless space to explore. Too bad I didn't find the 24-petal creation lotus, or the birthplace of Fuxi and Nua, let alone the 12 ancestor Wu hiding deep in Bujo Mountain. Right as I walked out of Bujo Mountain, a light stream shot toward me. I instinctively sensed danger. Within the light was a blurry figure. Their power wasn't weaker than mine, maybe even stronger. At the same moment, the presence in the light seemed to sense me too. Saw me leaving Bujo Mountain. The light stopped in the distance. A tall and imposing figure appeared. Killin detected the host. Host has caught the attention of the Killin. Please make your choice. Option 1. Provoke the Killin and fight it. Reward, Heaven Refining Technique. Turn the 12 divine pearls into 12 heavens. Option 2. Join the Killin. Become an elder of the Killin clan. Reward, Earth Body Technique. A technique that strengthens the body, making it as powerful as a supreme innate treasure. Option 3. Leave quickly. Avoid getting mixed up in Killin karma. Reward, Primordial Spirit Division Technique. Split your spirit into two. The divided spirit will absolutely obey the main one. Hearing the system notification in my mind, I made my choice right away. System, I choose 3. My roots are the innate gourd vine, one of the 10 ancient spirit roots. In the future, I might surpass the killing, but the karma with the 3 ancient clans is not something I want to get involved with. So I turned into a stream of light and left without hesitation. The killing was just about to speak. When he saw me fly away, he frowned, feeling a little annoyed. At first, he noticed my cultivation wasn't weak and wanted to recruit me. But he didn't expect me to leave without a word. Just left. Straight up. Maybe I had something urgent. He had to let me know just how powerful he, the king of beasts, was. So Killin turned and entered Bujo Mountain. While I was flying away from Bujo Mountain, the system notified me the quest was complete. A spell that splits the soul appeared in my mind, not exactly profound, but really practical. A bit regretful though. I didn't get the ritual of refining all heavens, but I'm not fixated on it, because compared to Shikilin now, I'm still not strong enough. If I really dared challenge Shikilin now, even with a primal treasure, I'd probably still lose, without thinking too much. I quickly got my mind straight, turned into a streak of light, and headed toward the prehistoric starry sky, flying through countless fierce winds. The stars overhead became even more vast, but space was harsh, almost no life. It didn't have the civilizations of the primordial land. I didn't really care though, and went straight for the sun. As I got close to the sun, I saw a boundless world of fire. Just the true fire on the sun's surface could burn a golden immortal to death. But for me, a mid-stage Da Luo Jingxian, it's just a little warm-up. But as a gourd vine, I'm not super comfortable in fire. I landed on the sun and looked around. Everywhere I looked, there were endless flames. Extremely hot. It's got natural protection. Dijun and Taiyi are being nurtured inside this star. That's really safe. Right then, I took out the mysterious chaos gourd with all 7 congenital gourds and started performing the ritual. One of the gourds is the water fire gourd. It holds the essence of water and fire. If summoned, it creates a water and fire killing each. For fighting spells, one of my goals coming here is to absorb the sun's true fire and strengthen its fire source. With my urging, the chaos gourd unleashed a strong devouring force, pulling clumps of the sun's fire inside, like a bottomless pit. It just wouldn't fill up. The fire on the sun's surface was too weak. It barely increased the power of my fire source.
If I only sucked up surface fire.
Who knows how long it'd take? Right then, suddenly a loud explosion rang out, and dragon roars erupted, startling me. I thought the dragon clan showed up, but looking closely, it was just a huge bubble popping. A ton of true fire gushed out, and with the poisonous gas erupting, hundreds or even thousands of primordial poison dragons emerged. That's a native species of the sun. They're embodiments of fire, born with incredible fire magic. They can spit out solar fire and burn everything. But these poison dragons live and die in a day. No real intelligence. When bubbles like that pop, they wipe out a bunch at once. But the rest of the poison dragons don't feel fear. They breathe fire and just keep playing with new bubbles. That got me thinking. Most of the poison dragons have no intelligence. But on this sun, some might have awakened wisdom and grown powerful. If I could tame a few, they'd be good for show. Or I could just capture or kill these poison dragons. Use their essence to boost the gourd's fire quality. But honestly, these are the first interesting beings I've met since birth. I'm not that ruthless. So I didn't go on a killing spree and watch the poison dragons scatter. Seeing them off, I worked the chaos gourd, using it as a shield, while it kept devouring solar fire along the way. Sure enough, the deeper I went, the solar fire got fiercer, and the poison dragons were stronger, but fewer in number. Finally, the fire was so intense, I felt like without my gourd shield, my body couldn't take it. No more poison dragons around by now. In the world of primordial desolation, nothing is impossible. Even in such harsh places, Dijun and Taiyi, two innate gods, were born here. They're on par with me, born as Daluo Jingshins. Just my world system. Came a generation ahead of them. I'm also trying to find these two. Those guys are full of treasures since birth. Dijun has the Hichu and Loshu, and Taiyi's Chaos Bell. These three treasures. I honestly want them all. Hichu Loshu is the supreme treasure for calculations and divination. It holds the Hanyu and Helio formation within. This array became a top-tier barrier for the ancient heavenly court. And the Chaos Bell is the ultimate treasure for offense and defense. Forged from Pangu's axe handle, it contains the Zhou Tian Stars formation, the Demon Clan's Guardian formation. At full power, it could draw all the starlight and rally billions of demon gods. So powerful it could rival a saint. The Demon Clan flourished with it for a whole era. But these treasures belong to those with fate. I'm not getting my hopes too high, just searching on the way. Even though I didn't find them, I stumbled on another rare treasure. Amidst the blazing fire, I picked up a bead and felt its heavy weight. Turns out it's a cluster of condensed sunfire, forming a unique treasure. It's called the Solar Divine Pearl. This one bead has insane energy inside. If I unleashed it, who knows how much solar fire it'd become. Really, it's like finding it without even searching. Came so easily. I couldn't help but sigh. Right now, the Chaos Gourd was still swallowing solar fire like crazy. But at this rate, who knows how many kalpas it'd take to fill it up. Then a Solar Divine Pearl just delivered itself. With this I can save tons of time and reach my goal directly. Then I thought, this Solar Divine Pearl might be able to turn into a mini sun inside the gourd, like a sun simulation, so I could keep empowering myself and have an endless source. That way, the boost for the Chaos Gourd is way better than just swallowing sunfire essence. It's much greater. Once I thought of it, I acted. I was just about to put this solar pearl into the Chaos Gourd. Right then, I suddenly had a bad feeling. A sense of danger hit me hard, almost without thinking. One immediately aimed the Chaos Gourd downward and hid myself inside it. Right after, blasts of fire erupted, all hitting where I just was. Crazy strong, it triggered a massive explosion. An insanely fierce solar storm formed instantly. Only then, the sound of dragon roars kept coming. 8 huge, ancient venom dragons appeared. I guessed before that on this sun star, there would be awakened and powerful venom dragons. Turns out they hid in the sunfire and tried to ambush me for the solar pearl. I was nearly blasted apart, safe inside the gourd. I saw everything happen. I couldn't help but feel scared afterward. Good thing I wasn't careless. I stayed alert all along, so when things got bad, I could hide in the gourd. Otherwise, that sudden ambush just now, I might have died or been badly hurt. Luckily, the Chaos Gourd is strong enough. It's a top-tier treasure. Not only have I fully refined it, even without an owner, those venom dragons stand no chance of breaking it. So, I hid inside the gourd without a scratch. But the gourd got blasted away. Those ancient venom dragons didn't recognize it as a top treasure. They thought the solar pearl was the real prize. They searched with their thoughts looking everywhere for the gourd. They thought I was either dead or seriously hurt. Anyone entering the Sun Star, they see as an intruder. If you're weak, they just kill you. If you're strong like me, they sneak attack. These 8 ancient venom dragons are all top tier. They've eaten unlimited sunfire on this star. Their essence is deep, and their powers are wild. I'm probably not their match head-on.
Inside the Chaos Gourd.
I'm trying to figure out how to beat them. Then suddenly, I hear the system's prompt again in my head. Ding, detected. Host is under attack by 8 ancient venom dragons. Please make a choice. Option 1, kill all 8 venom dragons. Convert their bodies, boost the Chaos Gourd, and get their fire abilities. Option 2, defeat and tame the 8 venom dragons. Enslave them, and gain all their combined powers. Option 3, enslave all 9 venom dragons, and get rewards from all 9 dragons, including total insight into the fire law. That shocked me. Where's the 9th one? I quickly started searching for the 9th ancient venom dragon. 8 dragons as strong as me are scary for sure, but they're not super wise yet. As long as they show up, they're less of a threat. Even if I can't win, I can still get out. But now, the real threat is a hidden 9th dragon, and I didn't even notice it. It must be even stronger. No matter how I search, I can't sense it at all. Where is that 9th dragon hiding? Then one of the venom dragons said something that made me relax. Hey brothers, boss is still training in seclusion and needs this solar pearl for food. If you find it, don't sneak any bites. So that 9th dragon is actually their boss, and he's training back at base. Now I could take it easy. As long as he's not secretly planning to ambush me, there's nothing to worry about. I'll deal with the 8 first, then go after him. I told the system my choice in my mind. System. I pick option 3, the reward is for all 9 venom dragons. Insight into the law of fire. Skills and power can be trained, but deep understanding of the law isn't easy to get. Plus, commanding 9 venom dragons as a team really makes a statement. After deciding, I moved out in a flash, showing myself from the Chaos Gourd. Hey, you dummies. That actually hurt. If I hadn't mastered an immortal body, you guys might have actually got me. My sudden voice startled the 8 dragons still searching. They all jumped. Big dragon eyes searched all around, roaring as they looked for me. But since they're so huge, they just missed me. No choice, I had to resize myself. So now I shouted again, drawing all 8 dragons' attention. Found him! He was hiding here! One dragon yelled. Before it finished, another dragon shouted, careful! This guy knows what he's doing. We didn't kill him with that sneak attack. I stopped wasting words and got straight to the point. I'm Dijin. Do you dare tell me your names? The leading dragon laughed, hearing my question. What's there to be scared of? My name is Manner. Our boss named us.
He's Manyi.
The rest of us are brother and sisters. Manzan, Mansi, Manwu, Manliu, Manchi, Manba. Manju, what about you? What about you? All 8 dragons said in unison. Their roars were deafening. Nothing. I just smiled and pulled out a gourd, then said to all the dragons, Manner, Manzan, Mansi, Manwu, Manliu, Manchi, Manba, Manju. If I call your name, do you dare answer? I will. Manner responded as soon as he heard me. A mysterious power wrapped around him. His huge body shrank instantly and flew straight into the Chaos Gourd. The other 7 dragons saw this and shouted, brother. Before they finished, they too got grabbed by that strange power, shrank down and got sucked in the gourd. That's the purple gold gourd's true power. Just call their names once. If they answer, they get pulled inside. It's all the power of karma. But the Chaos Gourd is way stronger than the purple gold one, though it does have limits. It can only hold enemies with powers no more than 10 times mine. So even these 8 dragons together, their power can't surpass mine either. They can't make any waves now. I ignored the furious roars of those 8 ancient venomous dragons coming from inside the gourd. I started subduing them right away. I planned to plant a restriction in their sea of consciousness, cast a seal on their minds. But as soon as my divine sense entered their sea of consciousness, I found there was already a seal. So basically, these ancient venomous dragons already have a master, but I didn't dare go further. because if I touched those 8 seals, their master would immediately sense it. Not to mention anything else. If that happens, those 8 dragons, and even the fate of the 9-headed dragon, would all be in their master's hands. I don't want to end up with nothing. Besides, I can faintly sense that the master behind these seals is probably way stronger than I am. But since things have come this far, I've already pissed that guy off, so I'm not backing down. I'm not a pushover. That guy enslaved 9 ancient venomous dragons and kept them on the sun's core. I suppose he's doing something shady here. Once he finds out I stumbled on his secret, there's no way he'll let me go. So I might as well just take all 9 of his dragons. I pulled my divine sense back. At the same time, I pressed even harder on the 8 dragons. I have to find the last ancient dragon fast. And trap it in the gourd too. Only by doing this before their master reacts. Can I swap things out under the radar? Take his place. And become the dragon's new master. I muttered to myself. Then I reached out and grabbed a trace of those dragon's auras from the void. Then I used a magic power. Suddenly, I sensed the direction and location. I moved instantly and flew straight toward that spot. It was even deeper inside the sun. The deeper I went, the stronger the sun's true flames burned. By then, not even my body could hold up to those flames. I had to rely on magic to protect myself. But now the issue is, how should I handle that ancient dragon? An idea struck me. I suddenly channeled the Tao of creation. The next moment, my entire form changed. A dragon's roar echoed. I turned into an ancient venomous dragon, twisting and soaring through the flames. At that moment, even the sun's true fire seemed to resonate with my body, getting sucked in and pouring back out through my body's pores. I spat out a blast of raging toxic fire. Relying on the Tao of creation, I fully changed into an ancient venomous dragon.
And
Almost exactly like a real ancient dragon. Not only that, I was still tweaking my aura, bit by bit. It became more and more like Man 2 among the 8 dragons. The resemblance was uncanny. By the end, almost identical. In that draconic form, I kept flying deeper into the sun. I flew for quite a while. Finally, I reached the destination. Ahead, I saw a huge dragon nest. This was where the 9 dragons lived. I sensed a very strong presence inside. From that aura, I could tell it was the lead dragon, Man Yi. His power should be on par with mine. Maybe even stronger. And he's making a breakthrough. If he's successful, he'll reach the late Da Luo golden immortal stage. His realm will get even higher. I didn't stop. After a quick check, I slipped into the dragon nest too. Boss, I'm back. Right as I entered the nest, my thoughts flooded deeper inside, reaching the massive dragon lurking within. A gigantic ancient venomous dragon. I knew it was you, second brother. Why are you alone? Hearing my voice, the lead dragon shook himself awake. Lying deep in the nest, he woke up right away. But as soon as he tried to speak, just like the other 8 dragons earlier, that same mysterious force hit him. His body shrank uncontrollably, heading right toward the gourd I secretly held. By my claw, he got sucked in. At that moment, even if this dragon wasn't too smart,
he still realized something was wrong with his brother.
so he roared furiously and struggled desperately. His power really was scary.
He actually resisted the gourd's pull.
For a second, instead of getting sucked in instantly. But in the end, he still lost. Just a second later, he couldn't hold out anymore. He let out a furious, mournful roar and got swallowed by the gourd, just like the other 8 dragons. He was trapped inside the gourd too, unable to move an inch. After capturing the leader, I couldn't help but feel lucky. Good thing these ancient dragons only train their powers and arts, and they barely understand karma or cause and effect. Once I saw the gourd absorb him, I moved in too, entering the gourd. Now, those 9 giant dragons inside the gourd were like flies trapped in amber, completely unable to move. This is the power of an innate supreme treasure. With this fully refined treasure, I can easily suppress 9 venomous dragons as strong as me. They can't even touch the seal in their own minds. So their master can't find out what's going on here. All they can do is let me do whatever I want. Once inside the gourd, I took on my innate Tao body, looked at the 9 dragons, and smiled in relief. Now it's finally time to finish my task. Plus, I'm really curious who your real master is, who actually set up this trap on the sun and raised 9 dragons like this. What's the plan here? So I moved the gourd, putting the 9 dragons into a 9 palaces formation. I sat down in the center of the formation. Now I'm about to use my swapping trick.
And
I need to break all the seals in their minds at once. They all have to go. Otherwise, if I miss just one, their master will notice. Then if a dragon dies or something, just failing the task alone will be enough to kill me. I closed my eyes. A flash of light soared out. My true spirit emerged, not in the Dao body form, but as a massive vine. A massive vine, billions of miles long, appeared inside the gourd, and the vine kept shaking. Suddenly, new branches shot out one after another. There were 9 vines in total. Each one rushed toward a primordial venom dragon. They wrapped around all 9 dragons tightly. Very soon they were tied up, like 9 giant rice dumplings. The soul-splitting method I learned before was meant to divide my spirit and create avatars. I didn't plan to turn those dragons into my avatars though, but with my soul-splitting technique, I made my spirit attack all 9 dragons at the same time. I gathered up my spirit, and in a flash, a dazzling emerald light lit up the inside of the chaos gourd, glowing all green. After flashing 9 times, the 9 dragons tied like dumplings suddenly shuddered, roared non-stop, and shook the place. Then the vine of my spirit snapped back quickly, pulling back to me. Then my spirit soared up and dropped back into my mind's sea. Meanwhile, the 9 dragons rose up, circling in the air, roaring again and again, and breathing fire non-stop. I had managed to swap out the restriction on these dragons, breaking the old seal in their minds, and replacing it with my own. So basically, I'm now the master of these dragons. But honestly, I wasn't that excited. I opened my eyes and gave a wry smile. I was right all along. Just like I guessed, the real master behind these dragons really was the ancestor dragon. Ancestor dragon, up on the sun star, had tamed these 9, the oldest and strongest venom dragons. He made them go dormant, so they'd be his secret weapons, waiting for the right time. He never thought that, after all those years, along came me, the sun star, and now his secret trump card is ruined.
even though I have this chaos gourd,
So I can block all detection. Nobody can sense where I am. At the very moment I took the dragons, when the seal in their minds was broken, across endless space and time, even just for a split second, the ancestor dragon still sensed my presence. A mere supreme golden immortal like me, taking away the 9 dragons he'd raised for countless years, stole every single one. That made the ancestor dragon furious. He just couldn't swallow this loss. Really, he needed to sit in the EC and lead his forces. But to deal with someone like me, he didn't even need to show up in person. So the ancestor dragon sent out an avatar. It wasn't as strong as his true self, but it was still late-stage supreme golden immortal level. He left the EC instantly, heading straight toward the sun star. But the distance was far, and even for the ancestor dragon's avatar, it would take some time. If I left during this, he probably couldn't track me. But if I stick around, the ancestor dragon will make sure I know. In this world, anyone who messes with him will wind up with weeds growing as tall as trees on their grave. Right now, inside the chaos gourd, after enslaving the 9 dragons, I was feeling pretty full of myself. And just as I was thinking about claiming my reward for finishing this mission, and those 9 primordial venom dragons, and gaining their mastery of the fire law, all of a sudden, the system's notification sounded again. Ding! Ancestor Dragon has sent out his avatar, now heading straight for the sun star. Host, you have the following choices. Option 1. Host, defeat the ancestral dragon avatar.
take down the ancestral dragon avatar.
Reward, innate fortune treasure, creation cauldron. Note, this option is extremely difficult. The ancestral dragon avatar is incredibly strong. A crime just below quasi-saint level. Host, please be cautious. Option 2. Hide inside the chaos gourd. Wait until the ancestral dragon avatar leaves the sun star. Reward, supreme innate spirit treasure, sun palace. Harness the power of the sun Deliver a powerful strike. Unstoppable. Burns anything. Option 3. Escape the sun star immediately. Erase all traces of yourself on the sun star. Then shake off the ancestral dragon avatar's pursuit. Reward. Yin-Yang Body Refinement Method. Cultivate the Yin-Yang Dao body. Hearing the voice echoing in my mind, I couldn't help but feel hesitant. I ruled out the second option first. First, I don't want to be a coward. Second, the reward Sun Palace. Just isn't that appealing. It's not that Sun Palace is bad, but compared to the creation cauldron in option 1, that's an innate fortune treasure. Born from chaos. Wielded by the fortune demon god who mastered the Tao of creation. It's a treasure formed from their own essence. Its function is similar to the heaven and earth cauldron. Also contains the Tao of creation. There are even rumors. If you get both cauldrons, you can merge the two cauldrons, breaking the limits of innate fortune treasures, and upgrade to an even more powerful artifact. So the creation cauldron is the perfect fit for my Tao. It matches my own path perfectly. But such a reward means taking huge risks. Counter-kill the ancestral dragon avatar. Who is the ancestral dragon anyway? One of the main characters of this arc. Even if it's just an avatar, according to the system, it's unbeatable below the primordial golden immortal. Is there any chance of winning? There definitely is.
If not,
The system wouldn't offer this choice, even though my actual power is totally outmatched. It's not like I have zero chance. My chance lies in the Chaos Gourd. This Chaos Gourd mixes functions of 7 big gourds. Among these 7, there is one gourd, the deadliest of them all. Way scarier than the 9-9 soul-scattering gourd or the purple gold gourd. It's just terrifying. This is the famous Spirit Phantom Immortal Killing Gourd from the investiture of God's Ira. The legendary Immortal Killing Gourd. Inside it hides flying daggers. When needed, just ask the gourd please, and the treasure will send out the daggers to kill. They're nearly unstoppable, whether against soul or body. Most can't block a strike from its blades. The original Immortal Killing Gourds. Immortal Killing Daggers were already strong. Now it's upgraded to an innate fortune treasure, the Chaos Gourd, with the same abilities, but even stronger. If the real ancestral dragon came, I definitely wouldn't choose this. The true ancestral dragon is a primordial golden immortal. The difference between realms is huge. Even if I had innate fortune level, immortal killing daggers, I'd never be confident. I could kill the ancestral dragon, but it's just an avatar this time, so I want to give it a shot. Worst case, if I fail to counter-kill, I'll just run away. After thinking it over, I stopped hesitating. I said to the system, I chose option 1. As for the third option, I'll have to give it up regretfully. Even though the yin-yang body refinement method can greatly boost my talent in the yin-yang Tao and make the Tao of yin-yang favor me. Besides, in this endless starry sky, there's another perfect place to cultivate the yin-yang Tao. But I've picked the riskiest and the most rewarding option, so I won't talk about that anymore. Right now, I have only one goal. Defeat the ancestral dragon avatar and get the creation cauldron. Naturally, I'll do everything I can to grow my power. I started to claim my previous mission rewards from the 9-headed ancient poison dragon. All insights on the Tao of Fire. They instantly flooded my mind. In just a moment, I fully mastered all 9 insights. My understanding of the Tao of Fire reached a very advanced level, almost matched the level of my grasp of the Tao of creation. Now my cultivation doubled out of nowhere. Of course, my strength soared too. My body shook. A powerful aura like the Emperor of Fire spread out. At that moment, even without using magic, I no longer need to defend against the sun's true fire. With a move, I came right out of the Chaos Gourd. I sat cross-legged in the dragon's nest. Waves of blazing flames rushed in from all directions. Thick sun's true fire poured into my body, instantly converted into my magical power. Who knows how much time passed, when suddenly, from my body, burst forth a powerful aura at its peak. My cultivation advanced from late-stage Golden Immortal to peak Golden Immortal. With one body, I mastered 2 major Taos. The surge in power made me feel almost dizzy. Before, I could only rely on the immortal killing daggers to have a shot at taking down the ancestral dragon avatar. But now, with mastery of the Tao of Fire and a breakthrough in cultivation, My odds increased again. Because here the sun star, the Tao of fire, gives me the biggest boost. Come out, nine-headed ancient poison dragons. I summoned them from the Chaos Gourd. The 9 dragons aren't sharp, but for fighting. Especially on the sun star, they're definitely top-notch. To prepare for the big battle, I ordered the dragons to practice. They're training a 9-palace formation, which lets their power stack together. Can't reach 9 times their power, but still way better than fighting solo. With this formation, they can share the pressure and damage. When the time comes, they just need to hold off the ancestral dragon avatar. While I find the right chance to use the Chaos Gourd, release an immortal killing dagger, then chances for victory are high. In the primordial world, almost every powerhouse masters a light escape skill, famous ones, like the Golden Crow's red transformation technique. Besides that, there are yin-yang escape, lightning escape, space escape, and others. A ton of escape techniques. For every Da law, there's a different escape technique. Someone at Ancestral Dragon's level is no exception. So the days waiting for the Ancestral Dragon avatar aren't long. That day, I was deep inside the sun, absorbing its true fire, honing my powers. Suddenly, I sensed something. I opened my eyes and gazed outside the sun. A terrifying force was sweeping toward the sun, overwhelming everything. The Ancestral Dragon's avatar finally arrived. As it descended onto the sun, an ancient poison dragon burst out from the void. It spat out a heavy blast of toxic fire, attacking the Ancestral Dragon's avatar. Almost at the same time, 8 more ancient poison dragons emerged around the avatar from all directions. They unleashed all sorts of attacks, all aimed at the Ancestral Dragon's avatar. But the avatar stayed calm. The dragon let out a mighty roar, not caring at all about those hidden blasts of toxic fire, letting the flames hit its own body. Its body just trembled slightly. Then it moved like a winding mountain range, suddenly twisting several times. And in the blink of an eye,
It endured.
attacks from 9 ancient poison dragons. It reached the side of one poison dragon,
Its sharp claws struck out.
almost tearing it apart in a single move. The ancient poison dragon cried out in pain. Covered in blood, it was sent flying. And that's not all. It moved quickly, continuing to fight fiercely against the other poison dragons. Collisions erupted over and over. Roars echoed non-stop. In just moments, all 9 ancient poison dragons were defeated. This ancestral dragon avatar really deserves the title of Golden Immortal. An unbeatable existence. Absolutely terrifying. I watched this scene. My eyes narrowed involuntarily. Then I spoke up. Brother Ancestral Dragon, you're truly impressive. Just your avatar alone is so powerful. The avatar's azure dragon body flashed, transforming into a middle-aged man. He gave a cold smile. His gaze pierced deep into the sun, looking through endless flames, meeting my eyes. You're not bad either. Bold enough to steal from the Emperor, and still dare to stay here waiting for death. I am the Ancestral Dragon's first avatar, called the Battle Dragon Emperor. You dare to provoke the Ancestral Dragon. Showing disrespect is already courting death. And you even dare to stay here. How clueless. Now I'll give you a chance. Kneel and submit. Maybe I'll spare your life. With that, the Battle Dragon Emperor flicked his hand. A huge halberd appeared in it. This halberd is a supreme earthly treasure, called the Battle Dragon Halberd. It's a weapon used in countless wars, throughout the ages. Meanwhile, deep in the sun, there was no fear on my face at all. I stepped forward, one stride at a time. Fire from every direction gathered around me. With me at the center, they surrounded me. I faced the Battle Dragon Emperor's pressure, with absolute calm, step by step, seemingly moving slowly, but actually shrinking the distance in a flash. Soon I reached the sun's surface, standing opposite the Battle Dragon Emperor. Kneel and submit. Maybe it should be me saying that to you, I replied calmly. The Ancestral Dragon is nothing but a pile of old bones. And you dare boast about your name and your lineage. I'm Hongjun. Today I'll see what you can do. I thought the Battle Dragon Emperor would be furious, but instead he looked stunned.
He laughed and said, "You guy."
You're pretending to be someone else. You didn't even pick a Hongjun I've never met. That guy lives at Jade Gold Mountain.
He's a good-natured old man.
I've met him more than once, and you're pretending to be him to fool me. How ridiculous. Only now I realized the Hongzheng I tried to blame is actually an old friend of the ancestral dragon. Pretty awkward, but I have thick skin, so I just smiled and said, Ancestral dragon, brother, you really have seen a lot. I couldn't fool you. Since that's the case, I might as well tell my real name. Actually, my down name is Battle Dragon Emperor of the Universe. Expressionless. Countless battle dragons. A few paths of the cosmos. I know them too. I am Yin Yang. Taoist Yin Yang is also my acquaintance. Seeing this, I lost interest in teasing him. So I stopped hiding. While wandering the age of chaos, I should have a name. Brother, just call me Creation. When the Dragon Emperor of Creation heard this, he gave me a once-over. But this time he just nodded. He didn't say anything else. From that moment on, I, Li Ping, in this prehistoric world, gained my own title, Taoist of Creation. Maybe after countless years, I'd even be known as Ancestor of Creation. After all, I was born from a primordial gourd vine and mastered the law of creation. So being called Taoist of Creation is well deserved. But right now, I'm about to face my very first real battle since my rebirth. This will be the first real fight. Earlier, I tamed the 9-headed ancient poison dragons by using some sneaky tricks, so it didn't really count as a real fight. But this time, it's different. I'm facing the Dragon Emperor of War, the Zulong Avatar, head-on. A huge battle is about to break out. A killing intent spreads all around us. Even the sun's true flames nearby seem to calm down. Suddenly, the War Dragon Emperor strikes. He swings his halberd. A cold light flashes, and in a blink, it's right in front of me. It's like distance means nothing. It feels like no matter where I am, no matter how far from him, I can't escape his strike. At the same time, from this one move, I realize deeply that the Dragon Emperor has mastered a very profound Grand Tao law. It's one of the top 3,000 laws, the law of space. And the Dragon Emperor, or really the Zulong himself, understands the law of space on a crazy deep level. So every attack uses the power of the space law. Right now, the Dragon Emperor's halberd comes smashing down, leaving me nowhere to run. As his halberd descends, I can feel the space around me closing in, trapping me like a cage. I've got nowhere to hide, but I'm not scared at all. Well, Dragon Emperor, you've mastered even a law as mysterious as space. But I'm not. So easy for you to kill. Why don't you try my creation Tao for size? I suddenly shout. Creation rules control all laws. Sunfire burns all things. I swing my palm and meet the Dragon Emperor's halberd head-on. As I strike, I use 2 laws at once. Endless sunfire gathers up, turning into a giant palm smashing towards him. The 2 forces collide instantly. My palm feels like it's pressed against the sharpest blade. The dragon's power, an overwhelming law force, slices into my body like 1,000 knives cutting in, trying to tear me apart, almost destroying body and soul. That's the power of the space law. But with my creation Tao, my body's insanely tough. Otherwise, a direct hit from Dragon Halberd would have done more than just cut my skin. You see, the Dragon Halberd is a top-tier offensive treasure, and its power is scary. So, even though the space law slams into me, in a split second, my body stops and absorbs it. It blends with my own power. As my power surges, I counterattack. An explosion of sunfire blasts from my palm, like a tiny sun going off. The bright light is blinding, and the thunderous roar is deafening. The Dragon Emperor finds himself caught in raging flames. Even his halberd gets scorching hot. The Dragon Emperor really is a mighty immortal, utterly invincible. Right now, he erupts with unstoppable power. He unleashes the law of space, forming endless barriers that try to hold back the sunfire. It's like he's standing in endless depths of space. No matter how fierce my attack is, he always keeps some distance from it, so the flames never reach him. We clash in a furious battle. Exchanging blows in a flash, various divine powers collide. The more I fight, the more I feel his power. Clearly, as the Zulong's avatar, the laws he controls aren't just the law of space, but other ones like the 5 elements, yin-yang and all sorts. He's using over 10 different Tao laws, even blending them together, almost forming something even scarier. Seems like The real Zulong has already found his own path. It's a path that dominates the universe. The path of only I reign supreme. But as just an avatar, the Dragon Emperor's realm isn't enough. So he can't control this full, ultimate Tao. He can only use parts of it and unleash fragments of the true Tao. The Dragon Emperor attacks boldly, throwing out all sorts of laws with ease, paired with the dragon halberd. I'm gradually being pushed back, but still, he stays on guard every second, putting everything into every strike. No wonder he's Zulong's best fighter, the most skilled in combat. I can't hold up alone, so I call the 9-headed ancient poison dragons to help. They form a battle formation, joining the fight. They drive their formation to the peak, and rings of deadly poison flames circle around, wrapping the Dragon Emperor inside. They try to pin him down, but instead he only gets fiercer. He roars again and again, his shouts shaking the world. The sound fills the skies. He even throws the dragon halberd away, letting it transform into a giant blue dragon. Its body, still not as big as when he drew out his true form before, but it's massive enough. That blue dragon from the dragon halberd swings its head and tail. It attacks together with the Dragon Emperor. Now the Dragon Emperor shifts to a dragon-headed human body, his upper body becoming dragon form. As if this unleashes all his power. He slashes wildly with his talons. Every swing sends out blue flashes everywhere. So powerful, nothing can compare. The 9-headed ancient poison dragons can only hold out a bit before losing the fight. If the Dragon Emperor didn't have the thought to capture them again, he would have killed them all already. I know things can't go on like this, so I summon my true spirit again. A huge vine suddenly appears above my head. The giant primordial gourd vine shines, its countless vines swinging everywhere. In an instant, it coils around the blue dragon formed from the dragon halberd. The war dragon ridge was reverted to its true form on the spot. But at that moment, I was showing my full strength, completely suppressing it. Meanwhile, more vines shot toward the War Dragon Emperor, trying to bind him as well. The War Dragon Emperor fought off vines coming from all directions, and looked shocked and enlightened. So that's it. You call yourself creation. Turns out you're the manifestation of this primal gourd vine. The War Dragon Emperor finally understood my origin, and in his eyes, a trace of eagerness appeared involuntarily. Even the ancestral dragon never got any one of the 10 great primal spiritual roots. It wasn't until now that he finally encountered it. The War Dragon Emperor burst into wild, joyous laughter. Good, good. I'm turning you back to your true form, erasing your intelligence. I finally got one of the 10 spiritual roots. His magical attacks grew even more savage, even forcing my soul to retreat over and over. My vines couldn't get near him. The situation reached its most critical moment. Right now, it's either you die, or I live. Those 9 ancient venom dragons lunged down, attacking the War Dragon Emperor hard. The War Dragon Emperor erupted in anger. You all want to die? He punched an ancient venom dragon. This time, he held nothing back, and unleashed his full force. In that instant, that ancient venom dragon was sent flying. The 5-section golden snake spat blood repeatedly, hit hard in just one strike. The War Dragon Emperor kept attacking ruthlessly. One ancient venom dragon after another. All lost their fighting power. When the Emperor had wounded and knocked away 6 ancient venom dragons in a row, those ancient venom dragons had finally bought me some time. Vines came winding in from all directions, and finally wrapped around the War Dragon Emperor, lifting his body right up into the air. He was tightly wrapped by the vines, unable to move at all. The vines kept tightening, even digging into his flesh. Swollen blood started flowing out, but none fell to the ground. It was all absorbed by the vines. The primal gourd vine was actually absorbing his blood. Or not just blood, but also his magical power and cultivation. Everything kept getting drained. One slip, and the situation flipped suddenly. With every passing second, he felt weaker and weaker.
If this keeps going,
It won't take long for him to be completely drained. But just when he seemed totally restrained, unable to struggle anymore, suddenly, the War Dragon Emperor vanished. The Tao of space. At this critical moment,
he used spatial magic again.
teleportation. freed himself from the primal gourd vine. The next second, when he reappeared, he was right in front of me. Now the tables had turned again, and it's my life at stake now. And at that moment, the War Dragon Emperor finally relaxed. At such a close range, he could kill me many times over. Taoist creation. It's all over, said the War Dragon Emperor calmly. But just then, on my face, a strange triumphant look appeared. Really? I didn't feel at all like I was about to die. Instead, I looked like I was winning. Now it's over. But the end is for you. Giving him no time to react, I suddenly called out affection. Treasure, turn around. Boom! A white light shot up. It seemed to reveal a creature with or without wings. It had a head and eyes. White light shot out from its eyes, freezing the War Dragon Emperor in place. At this crucial moment, when he was most relaxed, I finally unleashed the Chaos Gourd and sent out the immortal slaying flying blade. That blade is famous for killing fast. At this close range, no matter how strong the Emperor was, he couldn't defend. In an instant, he was hit by two dazzling beams of yellow-white light, slicing through the void. A furious roar erupted from his heart. Then it stopped abruptly. All was calm again. I looked at the headless body, fallen in the flames, and the huge dragon head beside it. I couldn't help but let out a long breath. Finally, I won. That immortal slaying blade really is deadly. Even someone invincible like the War Dragon Emperor was instantly killed off guard. Through this battle, I realized clearly how terrifying Zulong's power is. If I met Zulong's true form, before I used the Chaos Gourd, he would have seized it by force. Before reaching the Hunyuan level, I must not face a master like him. In a direct fight, the thought stayed in my mind. Then I used the Chaos Gourd to take the Dragon Emperor's body, along with the dragon head, and 9 archaic poison dragons. Only at this moment did the system finish the mission. Rewards issued. With a single thought, a great cauldron appeared before me. The innate treasure, creation cauldron. Feeling its mysterious aura, my heart began to pound. I can already feel the source of creation inside. Now I can surely advance and master the way of creation. But I cannot stay here long. I stored the cauldron in my soul, nurturing it with my spirit, then used the gourd to clean up, mainly to erase my traces and block any karmic ties. With the Chaos Gourd's help, all heavenly secrets are hidden. Even if Zulong himself comes, he cannot track me at all. In the Dragon Hall of the East Sea, the moment the Dragon Emperor died, Zulong sensed it instantly. His face was full of disbelief. The Dragon Emperor was the strongest of his 9 incarnations, yet he fell so inexplicably, and his opponent was just a mere Daluo immortal. Zulong's expression shifted as he tried to divine the cause, but the results were poor, yielding very little information. From what he gathered, it showed that on the Sun Star, it really was just a Daluo immortal, with no one else involved. This was very strange. Zulong did not act rashly, but went into meditation. After a few days, he successfully remade that form. His 9 incarnations are unique. As long as they aren't all gone, or his main body isn't killed, the 9 forms can be remade. However, each time, it drains his power significantly. Once the Dragon Emperor returned, Zulong finally knew what happened on the Sun Star. A mere Daluo immortal actually killed my incarnation. Zulong could not calm down. His strongest form died on the sun. The only oddity was that final flash of white light. What on earth was that? To kill his form in one hit, to kill my incarnation, given that Taoist level, should be impossible. So that white light must be a lethal treasure, a top-tier innate treasure. Zulong shook his head. Then his eyes lit up. An innate supreme treasure. Or maybe something just as powerful. Whatever it was, it disturbed Zulong's peace. But now, my traces are untraceable. The treasure blocked all karma and cut off all divination. Even as a Hunyuan master, with all his powers, there was nothing he could do.
Taoist of creation.
I will remember you. Zulong had to swallow his pride. He wasn't afraid of failure, but my potential worried him. One of the 10 spiritual roots, with such a strong origin, plus a supreme treasure. It was certain that, in the future, I would grow strong enough to face him head-on. The best way was to kill me before I reached Hunyuan level. If I get that supreme treasure, the Phoenix and Kilin are easy. I could break the current deadlock. Zulong had many thoughts. I left the Sun Star and planned to go to the moon. But after a fierce battle, though the flying daggers meant that in this fight, I didn't pay a high price. My energy was still low. I had to recover first. Also, the 9 poison dragons were mostly crippled in the fight. I had to check on them, so my future steeds aren't lost. After killing the Dragon Emperor, his soul was destroyed by the daggers, but his body remained. With the creation cauldron, I can make use of it. After flying across billions of miles of space, I found a small star, HID inside a secret formation, and began to heal. After a long time, my injuries were fully healed, though the fight was risky. My gains were massive. Besides loot and system rewards, the battle itself gave me much more experience. While my own wounds healed, I saw the 9 poison dragons. 6 were still badly hurt. I looked at them and had an idea. I took out the cauldron and the Dragon Emperor's body, the azure dragon form, including the dragon head. I disassembled the dragon, sorting out the useful parts, tendons, scales, claws, and heart. Great materials for future treasures. Besides those materials, I put the remaining body and all the blood into the creation cauldron. Then I used solar fire to refine it. Under the burning fire, all impurities were removed. Finally, only a teal-red liquid remained, the essence of the azure dragon, also called Zulong's blood essence. I pointed my finger, separating 9 drops from it. They floated out of the cauldron. A rich aroma filled every corner of the gourd. The poison dragons smelled it and were instantly energized. Looking at the blood essence, their eyes were full of longing. Though they aren't the dragon clan, they share the dragon form. For them, this essence is incredibly tempting. Go! I waved my hand. 9 drops of essence blood shot toward each ancient poison dragon. They swallowed them up without hesitation. Right after, each ancient poison dragon let out a loud, clear dragon roar. After taking in the ancestral dragon essence blood, they got major benefits immediately. It felt like their bloodlines got purified. Their originally dark red dragon scales now showed a faint blue hue. Even their dragon horns and claws started changing in small ways. But this is just the beginning. Once they fully refine the ancestral dragon's essence blood, the real benefits will show. At this point, I waved my hand. The last bit of ancestral dragon essence blood left in the creation cauldron also sprang out. Looking closer at my ancestral dragon essence blood, it's actually pretty different. Besides the blue and red shades, it's wrapped in a faint silvery white light. That silver white light is the power of the spatial law. The incarnation of the ancestral dragon was best at using space laws.
Even.
Its body structure was full of spatial power. So when I extracted the essence blood, I also pulled out the space force. With this space power, now I have everything I need to craft the 12 heavens. Staring at the ancestral dragon essence blood in front of me, I focused my mind. 12 glowing, multicolored beads appeared in midair. These were the 12 fixed sea divine beads. I got these 12 beads from Mount Buzhou. Each one's a supreme innate treasure. Way back when I was healing, I'd already figured out how to use the spatial power in the ancestral dragon's essence blood to forge the 12 heavens. So I pointed at the essence blood again, splitting it into 12 parts, merging each part into a fixed sea divine bead. That made all 12 beads take on a faint silvery blue tint. I'm not just crafting the 12 heavens. I plan to make 12 avatar bodies too. I wove the soul-splitting method into it all. With the essence blood blended in, the 12 beads fell into the creation cauldron under my control. Each one dropped in. The true solar fire in the cauldron suddenly surged, baking all 12 beads. I began making hand signs, my immense divine sense pouring out nonstop, working together with strong mana, forming one rune after another. These runes are my creation law made real. Wave after wave of runes gathered between my hands and went straight into the 12 beads. Gradually, the 12 fixed sea divine beads in the cauldron started to transform. Each bead turned into a color not quite black, not quite white, looking like pure chaos. Inside the bead was a swirling chaos. just like before heaven and earth split apart. I knew the time to open the 12 heavens was near, but I still kept pouring countless runes in without rushing, stamping them one by one into the beads. The 12 beads started drawing each other in, forming some kind of connection between them. They circled around each other, beginning to spin in the cauldron. At the same time, the true solar fire kept tempering them. Who knows how long passed? Then one day, the 12 fixed sea divine beads all gave a loud hum together. Then they crashed hard into the center point. A huge bang echoed out like thunder in a clear sky. Almost like the birth of heaven and earth, the 12 beads vanished. In their place, there was one massive, chaotic bead much bigger than before. That bead was formed by merging all 12 beads into one. Next comes the most important part. I suddenly spat out another batch of essence blood, striking it into the bead. At the same time, I formed a hand sign and shot the last, most profound rune in, stamping it into the bead. With my shout, I saw inside the bead. An explosive boom erupted. Instantly, the chaotic glow split into two. White light surged upward, while black light gathered below. Faintly, it was like the sound of the great Tao echoed across the world. A majestic world of heavens took shape. One after another, the 12 heavens unfolded. And I finished forging the 12 heavenly realms. The 12 heavens flickered, then appeared silently, stacking behind my head. They released their world power, like streams of primal chaos, empowering my body. I felt my magic power surge. The power of the 12 heavens could be used as I pleased. Truly the famous heavens method. Mastering the 12 heavens has boosted my strength immensely. Among current Dalua immortals, few can match my magic power, and they haven't reached their peak. I can keep refining them by constantly integrating spatial innate treasures. The 12 heavens will grow stronger. If I could get the other 24 pearls, it would be even more powerful. With the 12 heavens mastered, I'm ready to end my seclusion and head to the lunar star. In the prehistoric sky, some stars are eternal, like the sun and moon stars, and the 365 main stars, with 14,800 secondary stars. These stars are the core of the cosmic array. The rest are just branches. If someone controlled them all, they'd control the entire sky. I don't have such ambition. I just want to see their mystery to help my cultivation. My next stage is Hanyuan Golden Immortal. A Hanyuan Golden Immortal needs to find their own Tao. But meditation isn't enough. I need more insight. The more laws I learn, the better. Using nature as my teacher and the laws as my reference, I can find my own path. I use the law of creation as my foundation, the true path of creation. This path was mentioned by Hongjun. He said there are 3 ways: strength, 3 corpses, and merit. There are 3,000 Taos, and more than 3 true paths. The 3 Hongjun mentioned were just to guide the world. Even those 3 paths might have hidden agendas. In the future prehistoric world, only 6 sages were named, all following the path of merit. Sages created through merit are naturally the weakest. But then again, everyone's destiny is different, so different paths suit them. Until I get there, I can't say which path I'll take. With that thought, I deactivated the array, retracted the heavens and gourd, and flew to the lunar star. The lunar and solar stars are completely different. The closer I got to the moon, the colder it became. Nearby stars were icy. Along the way, I collected many cold treasures, mostly lunar mystic ice. This mystic ice is like the solar pearl I found. The pearl was condensed solar fire, formed within it, while this is condensed lunar power. Traveling and stopping like this, I finally reached the lunar star. Stepping onto the star, the extreme cold made me feel very uncomfortable. When I visited the sun, being a gourd vine, I felt the same way, until I mastered the law of fire. Did I finally adapt? Yang alone won't create. Yin alone won't grow. I should master yin and yang, I muttered to myself. Then I summoned the 12 heavens, releasing magic power to protect myself against the cold. As I enjoyed the scenery, like the extreme solar star, which has venomous dragons, fire crows and spirits. The lunar star is the same, with ice cicadas and snow rabbits. hopping around everywhere. To them, I was an intruder. They didn't dare approach, but watched from afar. I ignored the little ones, hoping instead to encounter powerful creatures like the dragons, to maybe add a few more pets. I also remembered the sun has the Fusang tree. What else does the moon have? According to legends, there is another lunar deity older than Zi, named Wang Shu. At this time, Wang Shu should still be alive. I thought to myself. I cleared my mind and headed into the depths. More treasures appeared. I collected tons of mystic ice, even the rare lunar mystic jade, though it was scarce. I collected it all to refine treasures later with the cauldron of creation. I've become quite a collector. Too bad the 7 gourds don't have a lunar attribute. Otherwise, absorbing this power would be great. The harvest on the lunar star is less than the solar star, but I expected that. As I went deeper, the cold became terrifying. Anyone below a Daluo would die silently here. The lunar star is more eerie than the sun, because solar fire is obvious, but this lunar cold attacks you silently, both body and soul, making you go numb until you're frozen solid, which means death is near. I reached the deep center, but still didn't find much. No laurel tree seen yet, nor any sign of Wang Shu. As for innate treasures, there were none. I stopped there and didn't go further, with a thought hidden behind my head. The 12 layers of heavens suddenly trembled. Then those 12 layers turned into 12 figures, landing all around me. They looked almost like me. These are my 12 avatars. When refining them, so I used my own soul and blood to refine them. I turned these 12 celestial heavens into my avatars. Back then, Randeng used 24 fixed sea divine pearls to make the 24 celestial heavens. That method is pretty similar. His 24 celestial heavens could become 24 heavenly generals to protect him, just like my 12 avatar forms. It's essentially the same trick. After the 12 celestial heavens transformed into 12 avatars, I naturally lost the power boost from the 12 celestial heavens. My magic instantly dropped a lot. Still, with these 12 avatars around me, vaguely, they seem to form a formation. This is called the 12 celestial heavens array. I had them form this array to guard myself, since some things aren't meant to be. I'll just focus on studying the Yin Dao here, I muttered to myself. It's rare that I get to visit the Yin Star. If I just take a few treasures and leave, that's really not worth it. Deep within this Yin Star, which is the place of ultimate Yin energy, there's nothing but the purest Yin power. Training here, I can grasp the mysteries of Yin energy better. So I started meditating. After a short while, a flash of light passed by, and my soul emerged. It still took the form of the primal gourd vine. You could see on my soul. Atop the gourd vine, a tiny bright red gourd had appeared. Besides that, there were also tiny flowers blooming. This little red gourd gave off intense heat. It's the embodiment of my Dao fruit. It shows I've grasped the law of fire, that major Dao law. As for the other flowers, it means I've touched those laws, but haven't mastered them yet, like the 5 elements, yin and yang stars and so on. If I can comprehend the law of extreme yin, there will be another yin gourd growing on this gourd vine. This is something special about being born as a primal gourd vine. Now, a patch of azure clouds formed above my head, and the soul of the gourd vine sat atop it, partly visible, partly hidden, emitting waves of mystical energy. This scene is the sign I'm entering a profound state, comprehending the Tao laws, slowly entering into focus. Right now on Yin Star, it's peaceful. There's not a sound. This is the absolute core of Yin Star. There doesn't seem to be any life forms left either. Just me and my 12 avatars. Everything feels totally cold and empty. So I just sat there meditating. Who knows how much time passed. Then one day, something changed. Suddenly, a strange aura started rising from me. It was extremely cold. Exactly yin energy. Yin energy is everywhere on the Yin Star. But this thread of yin energy didn't drift in from outside. It actually came from within me. That means I've started to master the law of yin. That's why I could turn some of it into yin energy. As more yin energy emerged from me, streams and streams, hundreds and thousands, tens of thousands, all gathered and swirled into airflow, circling around my whole body. Out of nowhere, the 12 celestial heavens array stopped blocking yin energy from getting in. Massive amounts of yin energy rushed toward me, pouring into my body. And not just my body, my soul in the azure clouds was also absorbing yin energy. Gradually, on that soul gourd vine, a flower like an ice crystal bloomed, shining brighter and brighter. But after a while, it dimmed down again, and the petals withered. In its place, a tiny gourd formed, just like the fire law gourd. This new, small black gourd represents the law of yin. It's my Tao fruit in the law of yin. Tao fruit just means achievement in a Tao. Finally, I've done it. I couldn't help but feel happy at that moment. I opened my eyes, and after absorbing enough yin energy, I stopped right there. Then my soul gourd vine withdrew, and the lucky clouds vanished. And as I stood up, the 12 avatars vanished too, turning back into the 12 celestial heavens, hovering behind my head. After I got up, I didn't make a move, but suddenly smiled a little and said, "That fellow hiding in the shadows. You've watched for quite a while now. Isn't it about time you showed yourself? I am Wang Shu. Greetings, friend." A crisp yet pleasant voice rang out.
Then,
A figure appeared in my line of sight. Seeing this woman, my heart skipped a beat, though I had expected. A divine being on the lunar star. When she finally appeared, her stunning divine form and her cold, elegant aura were truly breathtaking. But as a late Deluo golden immortal, my mind remained steady. After a brief daze, I quickly recovered, composed myself, and greeted her. "Greetings, Wang Shu. I am Zaowa." After exchanging names, things felt a bit awkward, though Fairy Wang Shu's power was even beyond mine. I still had great respect for a lady like her, since I had intruded on her land. It felt somewhat rude. I thought for a while on how to continue. Luckily, despite her cold vibe and her solitary life, she didn't seem distant. Perhaps in secret, she saw me master lunar laws and grew fond of me. Beyond that, I wasn't like other Taoists who came with greedy intent. After a moment, she gave a faint smile and invited me to her palace. I didn't refuse and followed her deeper until we reached a palace made of lunar jade. It was even colder here than where I'd practiced before. The place was desolate and intensely lonely. Just one palace by an ice lake, with 3 glyphs on the plaque. Guanghan Palace. When I arrived, I asked out of curiosity, "Fellow Taoist Wang Shu, is the laurel tree here?" She'd seen my gourd vine form, so she knew my origins. The laurel is a top spiritual root, so my question didn't surprise her. Wang Shu smiled softly, waved her hand, and by the palace and lake, a massive tree appeared, the legendary laurel. This tree is of pure yin, so it only thrives here on the lunar star. Since Wang Shu is the star's first divine being, the tree belongs to her. Looking at the root, I nodded in praise. Coming to this star, to see you and this tree, makes this trip worth it. Though she invited me, she wasn't very talkative, so in our conversation, I did most of the talking, while she replied. With such beauty nearby, I was in high spirits. In Guanghan Palace, I felt a sense of peace I never felt in this world. I was very relaxed, with nothing to worry about. In this state, my talk with Wang Shu became very casual. My jokes occasionally made the cold goddess laugh. As cultivators, we eventually spoke of the great Tao. Our common ground was naturally the lunar path. Being new to this law, I asked for her guidance. Yin peaks into yang. Yang peaks into yin. The way of yin and yang is a constant cycle. Yang holds yin. Yin holds yang. That is Taiji. I believe, though the lunar path is great, and a true great Tao, the solar path is vital too. It serves as a balance. Since yang is within yin, using lunar to absorb solar, to strengthen the moon, should be possible. I shared my views. I just come from the sun, though I hadn't mastered the solar laws yet. I planned too. Lunar and solar alone are too extreme. My path is creation, which aims to unite and absorb all laws. Creation covers both, forming the yin-yang path. That was my goal. During our discussion, I shared these insights. Wang Shu didn't disagree. You are right. Though I was born here and favor the lunar path, I know the world is dual. Neither lunar nor solar can be ignored. Only their harmony can create all life.
Exactly.
I nodded as we prepared to dive deeper. Suddenly, out of nowhere, from outside the star, a powerful aura swept in. It headed straight for the palace. Clearly, it was hostile. My expression darkened. From that massive aura, I felt unmatched majesty and raw dominance. It was different from the Dragon Emperor. His dominance came from being a clan leader, a worldly ruler. But this new power felt superior, looking down on all life, as if they were ants. That was its tone. I grew tense. Just then, the system alerted me. Ancestor Xuanzhen is here. To capture Wang Shu and the star, choose your path. 1. Help her repel Xuanzhen. Reward the sun-moon orbs. 2. Kill Ancestor Xuanzhen. Reward Great Star Technique. 3. Leave. Immediately to cut ties with her. To avoid the Star War karma. Reward a top-tier artifact. Hearing the system and feeling that godlike aura, I knew it was Xuanzhen.
In the Great Catastrophe,
Besides Hongzhen and Luohu, and the 3 major clans, there were other elites. The 3 primordial heavens were among them. Who are they? Kangshen, Xuanzhen, and Wangshen. Rumor says they are fragments of the heavenly Tao. Imagine that. What kind of skills do these 3 people have? Uncle Wang's expression turned serious at this moment too. He was just about to speak. I spoke up before he could, saying I didn't expect that in the prehistoric times, when the 3 clans of dragons, phoenixes, and Keelins were fighting for supremacy, battling over the fate of heaven and earth, that even the vast, peaceful, starry sky would have its own conflicts. Turns out there's fighting here too. I wonder if you could show me a bit. Let me see for myself. About this Zhuanyan Daoist. Wang Shu actually meant for me to stay out of this. But after hearing what I said, how could he not get my meaning? He couldn't help but feel strangely moved inside. He was born as an innate divinity on the moon star. He naturally controls the power of the lunar laws, which made his personality cold and solitary. Even when he talked with me about the Tao like this, it was just because he happened to see me meditating alone on the moon star, sitting in meditation alone. That kind of sincere dedication to the great Tao made him think I was different from others. So, he invited me to the Guanghan Palace to discuss the Tao with him. But even so, to Wang Shu, I'm still just an ordinary fellow cultivator. Maybe after this we wouldn't meet again. We might never cross paths again after this. Even if I return to the moon star someday, he probably won't see me. But he didn't expect that at this critical moment. I would step forward and stand with him. After all, in his eyes, my cultivation is only at the late Del Luo Golden Immortal stage, while he is a Hanyuan Golden Immortal. Naturally, that Zhuanyan Patriarch who's coming is also a Hanyuan Golden Immortal level being. There's a huge gap between Daluo Golden Immortals and Hanyuan Golden Immortals.
it's massive.
You could even say that a random attack from a Hanyuan Golden Immortal could crush a Daluo Golden Immortal. But I'm still willing to stand with him against such a powerful enemy. How could he not be moved? He must feel something, seeing Uncle Wang's gaze on me. I calmly said, don't worry, I'm a Daluo Golden Immortal. But even Hanyuan Golden Immortals can't easily handle me. When it comes to those on my level, Daluo Golden Immortals, I don't fear anyone. I've never been afraid of any of them. As I spoke, I directly took out a gourd. This is my lifelong treasure. Call it the Chaos Gourd. Maybe it can help you out.
Hearing this,
Wang Shu couldn't help being even more surprised. Looking at the Chaos Gourd, he exclaimed, is this an innate supreme treasure? I nodded. When I first took form, 7 giant gourds were born with me. I merged all 7 and created this innate Chaos Gourd, a supreme treasure. As I said this, I handed the gourd to Wang Shu. With my power, I can't use this gourd to kill a Hanyuan Golden Immortal. But if you use it, it might work. Could be possible. Uncle Wang didn't take the Chaos Gourd. Instead, he smiled and said, I appreciate your kindness. But just for dealing with this Zhuanyan, we probably don't need to use such a top treasure yet. No need for that kind of power right now. Watch my methods instead. As he spoke, Uncle Wang pulled out a scroll.
He opened it right in front of me.
Instantly, countless images appeared on the scroll. It was covered with thousands of living beings, all sorts of creatures on it. Birds, flowers, insects, and fish. All kinds of animals. Even many mountains, rivers, the sun, and the moon. Oceans and whole worlds. It really included everything. Absolutely all things, nothing was left out. Seeing this painting, I was impressed. Because the scroll Wang Shu held is actually a famous divine item of the prehistoric world. The painting of mountains and rivers. Legend has it that Hongjun distributed it at Zixao Palace, giving it to Nuwa. But now it's in Wang Shu's hands. I quickly figured it out. At this point in time, Hongjun isn't a saint yet, so the painting of mountains and rivers might not be with him right now. I had guessed before that on the Sun Star, Emperors Dijin and Tai were born with many treasures. So as a lunar star-born deity, it makes sense that Wang Shu would have treasures too. Looks like the painting of mountains and rivers is one of them. Even if it's not an innate supreme treasure, it's still a top-tier innate spiritual treasure. And it's a spatial magic item. Inside, it's like an entire world of its own. Everything is contained within. I couldn't help but praise, with that treasure in your hands. Victory is in the bag. Wang Shu nodded, then went outside the Guanghan Palace with me. When we reached the surface of the moon star, we saw that outside the moon star, besides the Zhuanyin patriarch in his dark gold robe, there were tens of thousands of powerful figures gathered behind him. They faintly formed into a formation. A huge oppressive aura filled the air. When Ancestor Zhuanshan saw Wang Shu appear, there was a stranger next to her. A look of confusion flashed across his face. He thought, Wang Shu has always acted alone. Why is she walking with someone now? Especially this person, who happens to be a man. A trace of displeasure showed in Ancestor Zhuanshan's eyes, and even murderous intent. As for Wang Shu, the reason Ancestor Zhuanshan came to confront her was twofold. First, he wants to seize control of the Taiyan star. Taiyan is one of the two supreme stars. If he could control the star, it would be a huge advantage for him. Nowadays, the Ziwei star is called the ruler of all stars, and is held by the strongest Ancestor Kangshan. Ancestor Zhuanshan and Ancestor Wangshan often battle against him, trying to snatch it from Ancestor Kangshan. But lately, Ancestor Zhuanshan somehow noticed Wang Shu's presence, so this Taiyan star left unattended for ages became valuable to him again. The second reason is Wang Shu herself, such a powerful Hanyuan golden immortal master. If he could make her submit, not only could he control Taiyan star, he could also team up with her and take down the other two, Kangshan, Zhuanshan, and Wangshan. The fight between the three isn't just for star dominance. They're trying to destroy each other, eliminate the other two, and possess all the heavenly origin by himself, then go one step further and scheme against the great heavenly Tao. Of course, Wang Shu's beauty also made Ancestor Zhuanshan very tempted, so he wanted not only Wang Shu's submission, but also to marry her. But now, when he saw me and Wang Shu walking out side by side from Taiyan Star, Ancestor Zhuanshan's fury exploded. I was also watching Ancestor Zhuanshan, and the fierce star gods behind him. Among all those star gods, about 100 stood out the most. Their aura of star origin was intense. Obviously, these star gods' aura was different. They are the ones who control the 365 main stars. Their cultivation is at least that of Tai Golden Immortals, and many are Deluo Golden Immortal. Then there's another group, whose aura is weaker, those star gods. They control 14,800 auxiliary stars. Ancestor Zhuanshan really is one of the top 3 rulers of the wasteland starry sky. His body is covered in terrifying luck. Such a powerful being. Even with my chaos gourd, such a fierce treasure in hand, I probably still can't defeat him. After all, he's arrived in person. Unlike Ancestor Zulong, who only sent an avatar, Ancestor Zhuanshan is someone even Ancestor Zulong can't easily defeat. I'm not yet a Hanyuan Golden Immortal, so I can't fight him head-on. So I thought it over, and silently called out system. I choose option 1. Actually, if Wang Shu were willing, using the Chaos Gourd and the power of the flying immortal blade, she could probably kill Ancestor Zhuanshan. It's definitely possible. But since Wang Shu isn't willing, I can only help her push Zhuanshan back. Assist Wang Shu to drive Ancestor Zhuanshan away. Fellow Wang Shu, you're finally out. Ancestor Zhuanshan forced himself to hold back his anger and stepped forward. He greeted Wang Shu. Wang Shu heard this, but didn't play along. Instead, she replied directly, Fellow Zhuanshan, you brought everyone to Tyne Star today. So what exactly are you here for? Ancestor Zhuanshan heard that, and his face froze. He didn't expect Wang Shu to speak so bluntly. Her tone was super cold too. Ancestor Zhuanshan felt a bit embarrassed. Fellow Wang Shu, my purpose here, I'm sure you already know. He smiled lightly and continued, it's me against Kangshan and Wangshan, competing for dominance in the starry sky. We split the starry sky 3 ways, and I got 1/3, but this was never going to last. Since you are the sacred star spirit of Tyan, can't stop me from conquering the other 2. When I become the lord of the stars, you could be the mother of all stars. Wouldn't that be awesome? This time, Ancestor Zhuanshan didn't beat around the bush, but directly offered the status of mother of the stars, trying to tempt Wang Shu. But in the end, it's just what Ancestor Zhuanshan himself wants. Wang Shu remained completely unmoved. What you said, Wang Shu isn't interested at all. If that's the case, then please go back. Wang Shu won't entertain you. As soon as those words came out, a few star gods behind Ancestor Zhuanshan were about to curse. Ancestor Zhuanshan frowned, stopped them, and said to Wang Shu, Fellow Wang Shu, I came here with great effort. You should know how determined I am. If you refuse, there's no avoiding a fight. Once Ancestor Zhuanshan finished, he locked his aura onto me, clearly threatening with himself. At this moment, I stood beside Wang Shu, smiled angrily and said, what a shameless Zhuanshan Daoist. So shameless, making such a fuss, to bully a weak girl. And you think you deserve to be Lord of the Stars? Silence, Daoist, stop your nonsense. Insulting my master. All the star gods heard that, and were furious, shouting in anger. I laughed out loud, holding the chaos gourd in one hand, even facing countless star gods, and the powerful Ancestor Zhuanshan. I didn't flinch at all, and said, isn't it true? Ancestor Zhuanshan's gaze was sharp. He raised a finger to silence the star gods, and smiled at me. What's your name? You sure got guts. The ancestor asked my name, trying to kill me. I replied to Ancestor Zhuanshan with a shake of my head. You're just a mere Dieluo golden immortal. Even if you have tricks, you still can't impress me. But what surprises me is Wang Shu refuses me. But she seems to treat you pretty well. How about this? Since Wang Shu won't help me, how about you help me instead? Ancestor Zhuanshan suddenly made a move, waved his sleeve. A terrifying suction force appeared out of nowhere, aimed straight at me, trying to drag me away from Wang Shu's side. Before I could react, I suddenly felt an overwhelming coldness. Wang Shu finally burst out. Zhuanshan Daoist, you crossed the line. Her icy voice echoed. Countless ice flowers formed out of thin air. The mountains and rivers map trembled and vanished, reappearing above Ancestor Zhuanshan's head, shining down, trying to trap Ancestor Zhuanshan inside. Even the Grandmaster Zhuanshan didn't expect this. Wang Shu struck with such fierceness. He was coming straight at him. He didn't have time to deal with me at all. He was furious deep inside. Wang Shu, how dare you attack me? Grandmaster Zhuanshan shouted in anger. At this moment, the power Grandmaster Zhuanshan had been holding back suddenly exploded. Intense starlight rushed out from deep within him. He forced back the landscape and country map. At the same time,
He reached out his giant hand.
endless starlight gathered together, forming a huge hand that blocked out the sky. That hand pressed down on Wang Shu and me like the heavens falling. Everything went dark. A massive hand that reached to the sky crashed down with unstoppable power. Such a powerful attack. With my strength, even with a supreme innate treasure, I could only stay alive, but had no way to fight back. At that moment, Uncle Wang quickly withdrew his treasure. The landscape and country map flashed, even quicker than Grandmaster Zhuanshan's giant hand, and instantly floated back above Uncle Wang's head. But it didn't stop there. It kept coming down, shielding both Uncle Wang and me inside. I immediately felt like I was standing inside an amazingly mysterious void. Then Grandmaster Zhuanshen's giant hand smashed down. With a thunderous crash, Grandmaster Zhuanshen's giant hand smashed hard onto the tying star, breaking layers and layers of ice on the surface. Huge glaciers exploded. Terrifying starlight burst out everywhere, causing a scene of total destruction. But none of this had anything to do with Uncle Wang and me. It felt like we really were in another dimension. So Grandmaster Zhuanshen's full power attack didn't even touch us. Of course, it couldn't hurt us at all. This landscape and country map really is worthy of being the treasure later used by Nuwa, that great sage. Its power is truly endless. With Wang Shu holding it, it's almost like he's unbeatable. It also made me wonder, Wang Shu is so powerful. How did he fall so quietly?
If not,
How did the landscape and country map end up with Hong Jun, who then gave it to Nuwa?
clearly.
Something really terrible must have happened in between. Right then, after dodging Grandmaster Zhuanshen's attack, Wang Shu quickly fought back. He reached out and somehow created a cassia tree with his power. He swept it forward, striking at Grandmaster Zhuanshen. Grandmaster Zhuanshen raised his Zhuanshen seal, his own life-bound treasure. It was powered by his very core, with unfathomable might. The giant seal floated up to block the cassia tree. In a flash, the two collided. The starry sky exploded, splitting open with huge cracks. Countless lights sparkled. I even felt the tying star behind me suddenly tremble. The cassia tree shattered, and the Zhuanshan seal was knocked backward. Seeing this, Grandmaster Zhuanshan was shocked. All his magic surged out, but as soon as he touched the Zhuanshan seal, his arms jerked violently and broke right then and there. The Zhuanshan seal crashed into his chest, and he staggered back several steps before stopping. Grandmaster Zhuanshan grunted in pain. Obviously, that hit had hurt him quite a bit. It was just a minor wound, but Grandmaster Zhuanshan was still utterly shocked. Uncle Wang's power on the tying star was just insane, almost unbelievably strong. Without using a treasure, just a single spell,
He was able to hurt him.
Grandmaster Zhuanshan immediately realized something terrifying. He wasn't a match for Uncle Wang. If Uncle Wang hadn't held back, he'd be even more badly hurt. If the fight went on, after just 10 or so more rounds, he would lose. Grandmaster Zhuanshan, who prided himself on his strength, just couldn't accept it.
He instantly shouted to all the star gods behind him.
Form the array. Each star god already had a position, ready at any moment to arrange themselves for battle. As soon as Grandmaster Zhuanshan gave the order, they all jumped into action. Everyone waved their formation flags and formed a mysterious grand array. Inside that massive array, countless starlights intertwine. Towering figures can be seen through the mist, some born with wings, some covered in bone spikes, and some with 3 heads and 6 arms. These are the forms of the star spirits. Terrifying starlight flows, as if forming another universe. The starry sky feels full of danger. Wang Shu, your magic is stronger than mine. But do you dare enter my Zhuanshan array? Ancestor Zhuanshan retreated into the array, shouting loudly at Wang Shu.
Hearing this,
Wang Shu looked at the array. Since I exposed his array, he likely won't let this go. Stay inside my treasure for now. Wang Shu didn't wait for my objection. I felt a sudden blur, and before I knew it, I fell into the map of mountains and rivers, with a very strange vision. I could see the scene outside. Wang Shu summoned the map, and gracefully entered the Zhuanshan array. Ancestor Zhuanshan ordered the array to full power, to drain her magic and powers, but not to harm her. However, suddenly, an infinite chill erupted. The star spirits closest to Wang Shu instantly felt their bodies stiffen. Their spirits and magic power all became sluggish and slow. The biting cold lunar qi erupted within the Zhuanshan array, freezing the entire formation instantly. It couldn't function at all.
then
One laurel tree after another appeared, sweeping in all directions, snatching the formation flags right out of the star spirit's hands. In an instant, the entire Zhuanshan array was cleared out. Zhuanshan hadn't even finished speaking when a clattering sound was heard, and a pile of flags landed at his feet. Only then did he realize the Zhuanshan array had been broken. This was his last stand to subdue Wang Shu, but he still underestimated her strength. And it wasn't just Ancestor Zhuanshan. Even I was beyond shocked. Is Wang Shu really this strong? thinking of how I tried to lend her treasures. I find it a bit funny now.
Logically,
Ancestor Zhuanshan is at her same level. But in a fight, Wang Shu showed absolute dominance. Not only could Zhuanshan not beat her, but even with all the star spirits and the so-called Zhuanshan array, Wang Shu broke it the moment she moved. If Wang Shu didn't lack killing intent, half of the spirits here would be dead. Fellow Taoist Zhuanshan, can you leave now? Wang Shu's cold voice rang out again. But to Ancestor Zhuanshan's ears, it sounded like a death curse, making his face turn pale as ash.
he didn't react for a long time.
As Wang Shu broke the array, even though I didn't truly fight, and only participated in defense, the system still notified me of mission success. This meant the battle was over. Seeing Zhuanshan dazed like a wooden statue, Wang Shu ignored him. She vanished with a flicker. Returning to the depths of the lunar star, the star spirits looked at each other, not knowing what to do. A few trusted subordinates had to whisper to Ancestor Zhuanshan.
Ancestor? Ancestor?
After calling several times, Ancestor Zhuanshan woke up from his daze. Is she gone? She's gone, they replied. With a wave of his sleeve, he collected the scattered flags, took his Zhuanshan seal into his mind, and said, then we leave too, without looking back. He led his star spirits to retreat, inside Guangham Palace on the lunar star. I looked at Wang Shu in front of me, and couldn't help but ask, fellow Taoist Wang Shu, what is your cultivation level? Although I knew both were primordial golden immortals, I wasn't sure of the specific stage, but in this battle, the strength Wang Shu showed was clearly that of a top-tier primordial golden immortal. So I suspected she wasn't just at the early stage. Just as I thought, Wang Shu heard my question, nodded, and replied, mid-stage primordial golden immortal. I took a sharp breath, thinking to myself, have I just found a powerful protector? Such a powerful goddess, in the entire prehistoric world, could probably only be matched by Yuan Feng, the ancestor of birds. I thought and said, Wang Shu, to be honest, after seeing your fight with Xuanshen, one feel my own cultivation is too weak. So I plan to leave this place and travel the world to train. But before I go, I want to ask your future plans. Xuanshen was defeated, but your kindness spared his life. With such karma between you, there might be future trouble. If Xuanshen uses schemes, or brings Kengshen and Huangshen back, you might be hard-pressed, despite your high cultivation. Therefore, I am deeply worried.
Hearing this,
Wang Shu looked at me with glowing eyes. She calmly said, I am aware of this, and I've dragged you into this karma. But as long as I stay on the lunar star, even the three of them can't harm me. I shook my head. Knowing Wang Shu's personality was hard to change. I couldn't just leave it at that. So I took out two treasures. One of these treasures was shaped like a crescent moon, while the other was like a full sun. This was the set I just obtained, called the solar wheel, and the lunar wheel, both top-grade treasures. They can even merge into one, increasing their power greatly. These sun and moon wheels are treasures I recently acquired. They suit you perfectly. Please take them for protection. Your map of mountains and rivers is better for spatial magic, but these wheels are specialized for offense. I then insistently placed the wheels before Wang Shu. Seeing this, Wang Shu was moved, but quickly declined. This is too precious. I cannot accept it. I remained firm. Just take them. It will put my mind at ease. Besides, you've guided me, so consider these a token of thanks.
hearing this,
Wang Shu's resistance softened, but when she heard token of thanks, she couldn't help but glare at me, leaving me a bit confused. However, since she accepted the wheels, I was very happy. I hope these will be useful to her, and perhaps change her fate. I muttered to myself. I didn't leave the moon star right away. I stayed there for a while longer. During that time, I discussed cultivation with Wang Shu. He explained many mysteries of the Hunyuan enlightened realm. I learned a lot, and Wang Shu used the sun wheel and moon wheel treasures I gave him. He started studying the ways of the sun and yin-yang. He combined the moon and sun paths and turned it into the yin-yang path. This change gradually showed in Wang Shu. He started looking not as cold and distant as before. Instead, he seemed warmer and more lively. Wang Shu's cultivation also became much deeper. While learning from his guidance, I understood the moon's path, and I prepared myself to ascend to Hanyuan Golden Immortal. With the Chaos Gourd, I grasped more laws and paths, like the ways of karma, the sun, and more. My cultivation kept growing, but in the end I said goodbye to Wang Shu, left the moon star, ready to return to the great wilderness. The starry sky is ruled by the three heavens now. With my cultivation, I can't handle any of them. There is also a battle of the three clans in the wilderness. But the wilderness is vast. Even the three clans can't control it all. There's still a lot of space to move around. Before leaving, I tried to persuade Wang Shu, asking him to travel with me, to avoid the turmoil of the three heavens battle in the stars for now. But Wang Shu hesitated, then refused. After all, he's the innate deity of the moon star. He doesn't want to leave his birthplace easily. So I left alone. Before I left, I also explained to Wang Shu some of the powerful folks out there. He's strong as a Hanyuan Golden Immortal, but never left the moon star since birth, so he doesn't know much about the outside world. After I told him about each expert I knew, Wang Shu was amazed. He stared wide-eyed and couldn't help but laugh. According to you, that Red Army, Luohu, Qiankun, Yin Yang, 5 elements, they're all bad, huh? So they're all villains. I firmly replied, that's right. Right now in the wilderness, it's hard for good people to survive. Better to doubt them. Never fully trust them. Especially the Red Army. Why? Wen Shu asked.
He thought it seemed like I had
Special prejudice against the Red Army. I hesitated and answered maybe it's because among all of them, he hides his true self the most. By now I've used my innate treasure to block the secrets. So even telling Wang Shu about them, I'm not worried about being sensed. I went on. Red Army isn't just powerful. He also got the creation Jade Butterfly. That's one of Pengu's best treasures. It holds 3,000 paths. With the Jade Butterfly, he's already mastered a righteous path magic, called Cutting 3 Corpses, but he keeps it hidden. Besides that, Pengu Banner 12 rank merit, Golden Lotus, Human Water, Peach of Immortality, and lots more treasures. All are in his hands. I pretty much told Wang Shu everything about Red Army. Left nothing out. Wang Shu listened and was stunned. Comparing Red Army, he looked at his own map of rivers and mountains, and the laurel tree at the palace gate. They suddenly didn't seem so special. How did Red Army get so many treasures? Wang Shu couldn't help but ask. I replied, that creation Jade Butterfly carries the energy of Tao, even though it's damaged to the heavens Tao in the wilderness. It's still super attractive, so I suspect the heavens Tao has chosen Red Army. With heavens Tao backing him, his luck is unbeatable. Getting all these treasures makes sense. Wang Shu heard this, paused. He didn't say what was on his mind, but I knew what he was thinking. I smiled. You want to ask, why does he get heaven's Tao favor and surely achieve greatness? But I hold such prejudice against him. Wang Shu nodded. Because I'm sure no one's truly selfless in this world, especially Red Army. If he succeeds in the future with his righteous path, the rest of us will be suppressed by him, maybe even controlled. And I also noticed, it seems like the Red Army is connected to the Chaos Demon God.
He might actually be the reincarnation of the Chaos Demon God.
If that's the case, letting him become the first to follow the true path and get close to the heavenly Tao could put the whole world in danger. After hearing this, Wang Shu couldn't help but think for a moment. Then she asked me, so, doesn't that make him a pretty scary enemy? I sighed and said, that's right. Right now, among all the Hanyuan Golden Immortals, he's the strongest one. He's also the closest to the true path. The stronger his power grows, the more hopeless it feels. Unfortunately, I haven't even reached the Hanyuan Golden Immortal level yet. Trying to fight him just seems hopeless for now. When Wang Shu heard that, she could sense the pressure from my tone too. It really feels like fate is playing out, just like I said. If the Red Army takes the true path, I'm afraid even those Hanyuan Golden Immortals won't be able to rise up again. Wang Shu then asked, how does my strength compare to his? I looked at her and then shook my head. I said the Red Army has split its 3 bodies along the true path. Each split body is basically a Hanyuan Golden Immortal. So that means he alone is as strong as 4 Hanyuan golden immortals. And that's not even counting all his treasures. Plus, with the creation jade butterfly, I doubt anyone can beat him. I see. Wang Shu went quiet for a moment, then asked, is there any way to stand up to him? I don't know. Maybe if everyone joins forces against him, there's still a chance to win. Or maybe when I'm stronger. Maybe one day, I'll be stronger than he is. When I said that, I couldn't help but show a little confidence on my face. After seeing that, Wang Shu kept glancing my way. Her cheeks turned a little red, but I didn't notice at the time. I finished telling Wang Shu everything she needed to know, so it was time for me to go. I waved goodbye to Wang Shu and left the lunar star. I returned to the great wilderness and Wang Shu watched me leave. She thought about what I'd said and couldn't help but wonder, gathering all the Hanyuan golden immortals to fight the Red Army together. She muttered to herself, maybe that's a way too.